So we can start with the executive committee meeting then. Welcome, everybody, and Happy New Year. Even though it's well into January. I will start with the committee guidelines. Good evening. My name is Barbara Stronzer, and I'm chair of the executive committee as first vice chair. And this is Community Board 7's executive monthly meeting. The agenda will be up soon. As of September 22nd, Mayor Adams issued Executive Order 210, extending the state of emergency through, right now, I believe it's January, and it will be, Carla will announce, extended a little further. Accordingly, boards are able to continue to act under the state of emergency section of the video conferencing law. This allows the board to continue remotely. Minutes and video recording will be made available on our website. You are calling into the meeting on the conference call. Controls are as follows: on the landline or on a cell. To hear all available commands, enter ** on your phone, *6 to mute or unmute yourself, *9 virtually raise your hand. We will run this meeting as follows. Bronx Community Board 7 has the right to remove or ask a member of the public to leave a meeting or block participation if anyone who engages in inappropriate conduct, including but not limited to obscene or offensive images or language, personal attacks, threats, or any other behavior that reasonably impedes the orderly administration of the meeting. Repeated offenses will be reviewed by the board's executive committee or any other assigned committee for a ban, the time of which will be determined by the committee of the participant in the event of repeated disruptive behavior. If in-person outbursts or attacks continue, this will be considered disturbing the peace and the authorities shall be summoned. Everyone beside the speaker or presenter will stay muted throughout the meeting. After each presentation is over, I will inquire if committee members have questions. Committee members will signify that they have a question by pressing the raised hand button on the screen or request to speak through the chat or when the chair opens the floor. Only those recognized by the chair of the committee will be allowed to speak during the allotted time. We will stay on topic with the agenda items. Any other items will be acknowledged by the chair in new business or addressed at the next meeting, granted there is time and the committee agrees on the topic. Following the questions discussion, the committee will begin their discussions after each presentation or agenda item and will conclude with the decision to vote on the recommendation. When the agenda is finished, the meeting will be adjourned. If there are any questions related to the meeting software or to the process, please use the chat function or raise hand function or contact the deputy district manager. Okay. I would like to first review the minutes from last month's meeting. So let's see if I can get them up here. 2, 3. Okay, these are from the December 12th meeting. I'll scroll down slowly. The chair's report came first. We had a motion from the Education Committee. We have reports from the committees. All right, do we have any edits, changes? Otherwise, do we have a motion to accept the minutes from last month's meeting as presented? Anybody?
I move to accept the minutes. Oh, wait. I think Michelle's name is misspelled on that page. Go back,
We go back.
right there.
AVILA, is that correct?
I think her name is written twice on that page. Can you go scroll down? Scroll down.
It's at the bottom of one page and at the top of the other page. I believe one
There's
has a
no-
double L, one has a single L.
That's all. That's all it is.
Here?
Right.
No, keep going.
Keep going up to the bottom of the other
Scroll up.
page.
Keep going.
Right there,
Here, right there.
Oh,
right there.
Michelle should be,
It's supposed
oh,
to
but
be E at the-
Michelle is incorrect, yes.
okay. good.
Okay, so we'll correct that with 2 Ls, I believe.
She's missing an E.
Okay,
2 L's and an E, yeah.
E, right. All right, so do we have a motion with the correction?
I move to accept with the corrections, Chad.
Okay, thank you. A second on Chad's motion?
Second,
Thank you.
Did we do attendance?
No,
Not yet.
should we be doing attendance first? No? I don't know.
confirm we have quorum and it's a valid meeting.
Okay.
All right,
Attendance first.
all in favor of accepting the minutes as presented? Can we do a verbal vote?
Aye.
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 All right, any noes? All right, so the motion to accept last month's meeting minutes carries. All right,
To conduct this, we should do attendance first so that we have. a
all right,
quorum
I'm getting there, Andrew.
Before the motion was voted on.
Well, we did have a quorum, that I was sure of. Okay, we'll go with attendance next. All right. Barbara Strander is present. Eric Asensio,
Erica Sanchez present.
thank you. Betty Arce,
Betty Arce present.
thank you. Yahira Arias,
Arias present.
thank you. Michelle Avila. Michelle. Andrew Laosa.
Andrew Leos approves the motion.
No, we're doing attendance. You're here. Thank you. Lourdes Acosta.
Lourdes Acosta present.
Thank you. Edgar Ramos.
Edgar Ramos present.
Thank you. Chad Royer.
Chad Royer present.
Thank you. And Victor Saldana. Victor? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We do have a quorum.
Now we can do the motion.
Oh, wait a minute. I lost you guys. Okay, the first motion then is to accept the minutes from last month. All right, Barbara Stranza votes yes. Eric Asensio,
Erica Sanchez votes yes.
Betty Arce,
Betty Arce votes yes.
thank you. Yahira Arias,
Arias votes yes.
okay. Michelle Avila is not here. Andrew Laosa,
Andrew Leos approves the motion.
thank you. Lourdes Acosta,
Lourdes Acosta votes yes.
thank you. Edgar Ramos,
Edgar Ramos votes yes.
thank you. Chad Royer,
Chad Royer votes yes.
All right, and Victor Saldana? Okay. Not here. I lost my screen. I don't know where we are.
We should be at the DM's report, no?
I lost the video. Okay, all right, we'll move on to our district managers report. Oh, before we move on, we need someone tonight to take minutes. I'm having problems with my computer here. Somehow I lost my Zoom.
Are we recording? Right?
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Okay, we are, thank you. We need someone to take minutes for tonight. Do I have a volunteer? No one? Somebody, only for tonight, because we should have a new secretary voted in next week. No one? No.
Just call someone's name. Who's the lucky person?
Okay, Betty, can you help us?
Yes, I'll find,
Thank you so much. Okay, good. All right, so we'll move on then to our district managers report. Since we don't have one, it will be our assistant district manager. Do you want to add anything, Carla?
Yes, thank you, Barbara. So I just wanted to say that we are available remotely Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and we are available for in-person visits Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. I do encourage everyone to schedule a visit just in case something can be resolved in virtually. We can do that, and you will need to come to the office. I also wanted to give you all my phone number. This is my cell phone number. The office number is, mailbox is full, and I am unable to listen to all the voicemails at this moment, and the phone is disconnected somehow. So as we bringing a technician to look after and fix the phones, please reach out to me at my cell phone number, and I'll be able to get back to you soon. Our intern is no longer with us as of December 22nd. She transferred to a fully remote position. And Council Member Pirina Sanchez's office is helping us to address the graffiti that's on our gate.
Oh,
So
great.
that's going to be cleaned up pretty soon. The Jerome Gonhill Business Improvement District is looking to address graffiti issues on the Jerome Gonhill corridor. And that's on Jerome Avenue between Moshulo Parkway and East 212 Street, and East Gonhill Road between Jerome Avenue and Webster Avenue. You can email me to let me know what locations needs to be addressed, and I can forward that information to them.
Okay.
The Office of Cannabis Management is also accepting community comments for the regulations. I am putting the link in the chat so you can look at it. It's a very lengthy document. And you can also submit comments to the email that I am pasting on the chat as well. If you have any complaints regarding any cannabis establishments around the district, you can email me that information. If you can, please include the following information: name of business, the time that you witness any illicit activity, location, any pictures if you can, discreetly, don't get yourself in trouble. And indicate if there has been any previous police contact at the site, if you have witnessed anything. And then proximity to sensitive locations like schools and houses of worship. And then your contact information so I can follow up with any questions that are needed. We are also participating in the Department of Youth and Community Development 2023 Youth Count from next week, from January 25th to January 27th. I'm going to put the link of the flyer in the chat. I still don't know what time they are required that the office be opened. It might go a little bit through the night, just to make sure that we are available for people to come to the office and answer any surveys. The survey will also be available for people to answer them from their homes. And lastly, the next public workshop for the Kingsbridge Armory is this Saturday from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. and it's at PS 340 Annex, and that's at 25 West 195 Street. And I am putting the link to where all the information can be found, information on past public workshops and other meetings that they have hosted with different stakeholders in the community. If you can, please do come out, give your opinion about what it's to be at the site. And I hope to see you all Saturday.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. We have a hand up there. Betty, go ahead.
Yeah, this goes back to the whole issue of these cannabis shops and comments, or what you said are illicit activity. The very fact that they are open without being registered, isn't that illicit and illegal? And I had raised it with the issue of the one on 204th Street, High Cloud, and in driving around the neighborhoods, I'm seeing, I know they're all popping up, but none of them have been issued the official registration or permit that the state is giving. Is that correct?
Right, so there are a lot of illicit establishments out there, and just people having their little tents on the sidewalks and things. I have seen it as well. And at the moment, I believe there's little enforcement being done around, just because of the history of how enforcement has taken in previous years. So I think they're still figuring it out how that is going to look like. And I do know that the Office of Cannabis Management is going to start hosting meetings with all community boards, including ours. So eventually we will take a deeper dive into the whole topic of what is happening.
Okay, I mean, I just think it's unfair to the people who have gone through the trouble of registering and applying, and then and this is not tents, this is brick and mortar. They are in stores. I mean, they've opened up these very fancy shops. The other thing is that there's no sign that says that there's an age limit. I mean, you would think that in any place like that that sells these kind of products, that they would have at the very least saying that, you must be over 21 or whatever the age is, 18, 21, to be able to come in and purchase items from the store. I don't know. But again, I'll wait when these meetings are taking place. And I have already, called in a lot of this stuff, and you're right, the enforcement is somewhat lax. Thank you.
There was something on the news today that said there was some law that people weren't aware of, that the police cannot go into these illegal shops to do anything about it. So we'll see what follows from that. Okay, any other questions before we move on? Thank you for your report, Carla. All right, chairperson's update. Yahira?
Hi, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm in transit, so if it's noisy behind me, I'm sorry. I do apologize. I'm trying to get home with this crazy weather. So just a couple of updates. We had the borough-wide meeting today with the VP's office, and the issue of cannabis came up, and they did a presentation. So I do have some information on that I will share with Carla and share with the board members as well.
Good.
The Kingsbridge Armory initiative, I'm encouraging everyone to come out this weekend and be a part of it. It's a great experience. It'll give you a lot of information as to what the next steps are going to be. The next thing is Ciara Gannon is going to be the new deputy of community boards for the VP's office starting next month. So we will see her join our meetings, probably a general board meeting next month. And last but not least, the executive order from the mayor's office has extended open law meetings to February 15, 2023. So we will be virtually up until then. And of course, it's a winter month, so we know that it's going to be extended. That is all for me right now. I will send an email with more updates and more details to all the board members. And going back to the two board members that did not know what committees they were on, I will make it my business to reach out to them and start a line of communication so that this doesn't happen again. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, we'll move on to motions. We have Bart Freed with us tonight from the Amateur Astrologers Association. The motion is coming from the Parks Committee, but Bart was very nice to join us in case there are any questions. So I will put up what the motion is to start. All right. The committee recommends a letter of support from our board to the New York City Department of Parks and Recreation, stating that Bronx Community Board 7 supports the Amateur Astronomers Association proposed New York City Public Observatory installation at Jerome Park. The observatory currently is at Nassau Community College, and the proposal is to move the observatory to the grassy area along the Jerome Park Reservoir, directly opposite Harris Field on Goulden Avenue. And part of the proposal will include a concrete path and the planting of trees and shrubs in the area. All right, the observatory will be open to all our local schools. We have exactly 8 within a mile distance from the site. And it certainly will be open to the public for use as a learning tool. All right, do you have any questions?
I don't have a question, Barbara, but I have a recommendation for the language that says, could you just scroll down to where, when the observatory will be installed sometime? Can we say in the spring 2023, just to, you know, just.
Yes. All right, I will add
Spring
that.
2023.
Okay, we can add that, no problem.
Okay.
It will take only a few months, which is good.
Right.
All right, do we have any questions from anybody?
Andrew and Eric.
All right, Andrew first and then Eric. Go ahead, Andrew.
I would, I would like to see language in that letter stating that and I don't know who it would be, but who is responsible for returning the site to its original condition after this portable telescope is removed? And secondary to that is who is responsible for maintaining the upkeep of the area? Does the Parks Department have enough staff to maintain another section of the park?
All right, Bart, can you answer that?
Sure, I'm going to answer the second comment first. Currently, Parks does maintain that section. They mow it. If garbage gets dumped there, they clear it. And there's not going to be any change to that. Our responsibility will be to maintain the path or walkway from the sidewalk to the pad where the observatory will be, and to maintain the shrubbery that we will put in around that area. We will also plant 3 new trees, which Parks has requested that we do. However, the trees would be maintained by Parks, like they maintain all the other trees there. So it's fairly well delineated. In terms of it being temporary, it's not meant to be temporary. I mean, we're putting it in there. Initially, we were just going to put it on a temporary base, but Park said, "Oh, no, make a permanent masonry base or pad for it, and put in a solid walkway." So theoretically, if for some reason Parks were to say to us, we really don't want the observatory there anymore, we would remove the dome and the power supply, which are solar panels, and there would be I guess you could put something else on that pad, like a gazebo or something. But they haven't asked us to be responsible for removing concrete or solid foundational work. There's not going to be really much of a foundation, though. The dome itself will be tied down to the concrete pad with, for lack of a better word, J-rod. It's rod that's set in the cement and comes up, and so the dome will be bolted to that per the manufacturer's recommendation.
Okay, thank you. We have another question. Eric, go ahead.
So this observatory is gonna be open to the public as well, right?
Correct.
Okay,
That's
'cause
it's
in the motion. I'm
right
sorry.
in the name. It's the New York City Public Observatory.
Okay, because in the motion, it seems to imply it's only for the schools in the district.
No, it's actually for three groups: the public, schools, both public and private, and members of the Amateur Astronomers Association. So you, of course, will all be welcome to come by. We will have, I'm sure, multiple events during the year where the public can come. And if someone wanted to, for example, do a research project with the telescope, we'd be happy to entertain the idea and train you if that's something you really want to do. The schools, we hope, will come by the busload. That'd be great.
Okay, thank you.
I'm
Any other
Yeah.
questions? Go ahead.
I would think that we need to maybe kind of build up a little bit the motion with the kind of information that both Eric, to answer that question and have it in the motion.
I believe it is stated in the motion, the New York City Department of Parks and Recreation stating that, you're talking about the
I'm sorry, could you put it up? I can't see, I don't see.
Okay,
it.
I'll put it up again so you know what it looks like. I can find it here. Oh, I see, there it is. Okay,
Okay,
all right.
because the what is 4%, there is a certain work together with dirt works like to move the dirt from the asphalt. Okay.
All right,
But I think to answer, I think
we stated under the rationale
eight
that,
schools are within a mile, these are, and the public will, could, oh,
and the
okay.
public could use the observatory as a learning tool,
These is
okay?
in the public, okay, all right, fine, all right. I didn't see it when you first put it up, thank you.
Okay,
Okay.
all right, any other questions regarding the motion? All right, do we have a second for the motion?
I'll second it, Chad.
Okay, thank you, Chad, and we'll take a vote. Okay. All right, Barbara Stranza votes yes on the motion. Eric Asensio,
Erica Asensio votes yes.
thank you. Betty Arce,
Betty Arce approves the motion.
thank you. Yahira Arias,
Tahira Arias approves the motion.
okay. Michelle Avila, did she come in? No, okay. Andrew Laosa,
Drew Leos approves the motion.
thank you. Lurie Acosta,
Lauris Acosta approves.
thank you. Edgar Ramos,
Edgar Ramos approves.
thank you. Chad Royer,
Chad Royer approves the motion.
thank you. And Victor Saldana,
Victor Saldana approves the motion.
thank you. All right, the motion carries. Thank you. And thank you, Bart, for joining us with the information.
It's
And,
my pleasure, and thank you for the positive vote. We really appreciate it.
okay, and hopefully you'll let us know when you're ready to go with visitors, right?
The current plan is we hope to have a building on the site or the observatory on the site no later than April or May.
Great, okay, very good.
Perfect,
Thank you.
thanks. Right.
Okay,
Good night.
good night. All right. Okay, we will move the agenda. To our. Okay, we were supposed to have someone coming from Link, New York City, since they are planning to put a kiosk up on 3349 Webster Avenue, but I understand they were not able to come, and they said if anybody had questions that we can send it to them. So if anybody has a question, please, if you could send it to Carla and she'll forward it to the group. Carla, do you know how far up on Webster this is? 3349, that would be on the west side of Webster.
Let me check the map.
Okay, I would think it would be around Gun Hill someplace. Okay.
Yes, it is.
It is. Thank you, Eric.
Thank you,
Okay.
Eric.
Good. Okay, just to give everybody an idea. All right, so if there are any questions regarding the installation at this location, please let Carla know and she'll forward the questions to the group. Okay, we can move on to committee reports. We'll start with Andrew, Budget, Personnel, and Ethics.
We just met this evening, and there were two motions. to send attendance letters, and those motions will be brought to the executive board for a vote, and eventually to the full board for a vote. A report.
Okay. All right, Andrew. You don't have any motions for tonight, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Thank you. All right, next we have education, youth, and libraries. Lurie?
Yes, thank you, Barbara. Hello, CB7. We met earlier this month and we had a very productive meeting. I guess the minutes will be up soon. I'm still a little delayed on that. I'm currently on vacation. But aside from that, we're looking to change our meeting times to a Monday, 1st or 3rd of the month. So stay tuned on that change for the Education, Youth, and Library Committee. That is all.
Okay, thank you. Environment and sanitation, Betty?
Sorry, yeah, we met on January 3rd. Good meeting. We didn't have representatives at that point, but sanitation sent some updates that will be in my minutes. And for the first time in many times, my minutes are actually ready to go. The one interesting piece is something called Targeted Neighborhood Task Force, which is a cross-agency collaboration that's going to hopefully result in cleaner streets, more jobs, fewer rats, and improved quality of life. Well, we'll see if that's the case or not. That generated a very interesting discussion about illegal dumping, which we hope we will bring up at a future meeting so that we can have a further and more detailed discussion about that, because this new initiative is talking about increasing cleanings around areas such as bridges, highways, and on and off ramps and underneath underpasses, lots and other places that have been like the no man's land. Like everybody says they own it, but they don't, and nobody does anything about cleaning it. So they're going to be put on a regular cleaning schedule. But we'll bring this up at our future meeting. And there'll be some new set out rules where supposedly garbage will be put out at a later time. There are Rat Academy trainings going on through, right now we have to schedule up through February 9th, and that'll be in my minutes. So if anyone wants to do that, attend that training. We're also discussing possibly sponsoring a training and looking possibly collaborating with the health committee to do it, have them do it remotely on our for one of our meetings, so that it'll be more convenient for people to be able to attend. What else? There was a request for some things to be done, maybe having what's called a safe disposal event, which is where people would bring toxic chemicals and what have you to a site for disposal. We'll see if that's doable or not. And interesting, we had this conversation about recent sightings of coyotes in nearby Riverdale and in Woodlawn. They have been sighted. And I've seen photos and videos of them in those areas, which are very close to our community board. So they are out there, and they are protected. And there are, we also include how to go about reporting those sightings as well. And then there was a community member who had some concerns and issues, which how Carla will help to follow up with, along with it's all related to sanitation. Our next meeting, and I said that I've been having meetings every other month, but because of the interest generated by this particular meeting, we'll probably meet on February 7th at 7 p.m. And the agenda will include that to be determined, but more than likely will be the illegal dumping, if we have sanitation representatives to be able to help us with that. And at some point down the line, I'm going to start adding, looking at our budget as issues to be taken up by our committee members. And that's it.
Okay, thank you, Betty. All right, we'll move on to Health and Human Services. Michelle isn't here, but is there anyone from her committee that could give us a report? I guess we'll have to wait till we get the written minutes. All right, we'll move on. Housing, Land Use, and Economic Development, Eric?
We did not meet this month, but we are working with Carla on some topics for the following month.
Okay, thank you. Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Affairs. As you have seen, we had the representatives from the Amateur Association for Astrologers Association, I should say, excuse me. And we also had for a few minutes our new Bronx Parks Commissioner, Jessalyn Aponte, came on, and we met her. There were a lot of complaints about the lack of a representative from the Forestry Division of Parks. And we are hoping next month to have someone come from Forestry. We have a lot of dead trees that need to be removed, and there are certainly a lot of sites where we would like to see some new trees. So I will keep you posted on that. Public Safety and Quality of Life, Victor?
Nothing's on.
Hi, good evening. We had a very productive meeting this past Thursday, well, actually last week. We have representatives from both NYPD and CCRB, and they provide us with updates on the latest developments and initiatives in their respective organizations. We discussed ways in which we can work together to ensure the safety and security of the community. And we also discussed transparency and commission and building trust between law enforcement and the community. There was the NYPD, I'm not sure, Carla, if they sent you anything yet, but they were mentioning about programs that they have available for the public. The one is that the public, if they have cameras such as like a Nest Cam or a door ring, those cameras in front of their properties, they can feel free. The public can register their cameras with NYPD, so that way the NYPD has access to footage in case there's crimes in the area. And then the other item is that there is a security assessment available from NYPD for business owners in the neighborhood, and they will have to reach out to Officer Acosta to request that. We are looking, I believe they were going to be sending out some information out to Community Board 7 so they can send it out to the community, and hopefully we should have our next meeting next month. That's all.
Okay, thank you. Traffic and Transportation, Edgar?
Yes, good afternoon. We had a meeting in January. We have a new commanding officer for TD11. They seem to be responsive. Some of the stuff that's going on. I know they attacked the vehicles that were being parked on the concourse, covering some of the emergency exits for the train stations. So, you know, they are there for us, thankfully. We'll have our next meeting February 2nd. Join us.
Thank you. All right, Veterans Affairs, Chad?
Hi, good evening, everyone. So we had a lot of stuff that we covered at our meeting yesterday. So we had some updates from one of our residences, Fordham Village. Previously, it was mentioned about a year ago that they have elevator issues. Those have since resurfaced, and we're looking to follow up to see how we can get better compliance from the building management. We also had representatives from Manhattan College Veterans Student Program discuss what their veteran students do and how we can engage in future collaborations. Also had a presentation from the New York State Division of Veteran Services. They came and provided a lengthy presentation on the benefits. But also something else came up when we were discussing future events, and what came up was a veterans fair or a bazaar or some sort where we invite veteran related entities, agencies, and nonprofits, where we hold an event where they all come to the table and they discuss everything that they do, how they can help, how they can move forward. And we were looking to see how we can put it together for the next upcoming months. We're targeting the month of May. And one of the things that I have to ask is what the budget would allow us to spend on, if there's anything that we need from the budget. So I will be making an inquiry on what we have and also looking to a possible space. I know Poe Park was mentioned, Monroe College was mentioned. So for now, that's all that I have in the report. I hope to have those minutes in soon.
Okay, thank you, Chad. I believe that Andrew mentioned that at the next budget meeting, we would discuss the status of our internal budget, because in the past, we have always tried to spend everything before the end of the fiscal year. And since we're going to run a few months without a district manager's salary, there will be money there. So we will discuss that at, I guess Andrew will have a meeting next month.
Okay, I do have a question real quick. Would the application of street permits or park permits come out of the budget or no?
I would guess yes, because we had to get a permit for the tree lighting, and that does come out of the budget.
Okay,
It's
So, Chad, everything logistics have to come through the staff. And because we're another city agency, our sister agencies usually don't charge other city agencies for certain permits, parks being one of those. So we do have a special code that we use, so we don't pay for permits.
Oh, that's great. Okay, there you go, Chad.
okay.
Okay.
So, yeah, so I'll follow up with another email down the line on some of the asks that the committee has come forth with.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to the ad hoc bylaws committee. Is Myrna on? I don't think so. The last email I received was that the next meeting will be next Wednesday evening at 6:30. Am I correct on that, Carla? I think it's the night after our general meeting. That's what I have on the calendar anyway.
Can you repeat that again? I missed it.
The next meeting for the bylaws committee will be next Wednesday at 6:30.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes, it is.
All right. And the ad hoc screening committee for a new district manager. Michelle isn't on. Maybe Yahira wants to say something. Did we lose her?
I believe she's
Never
not
posted in
on.
it.
I think we lost her. Maybe Andrew. Andrew, yes, you're on. You're on the committee. Do you have to, would you like to say something about the status of where you are and what's going on with that committee?
We met at the Bronx Library Center, and we had a very productive meeting. Went into a lot of detail, and we will be undergoing training and guidance from the city as to exactly what the procedures are.
Okay.
And we reviewed the questions that will be brought forward to the candidates, and our recommendations of those questions will be sent to the borough president's office and cleared by the legal people. So that's my recollection of what took place.
Okay, have any job specs gone out as yet? Andrew?
Sorry, what was that?
Any job specs gone out as yet? To state
I
that
can-
there
I
is
can
an
respond
opening
to
and
that.
what is required? Nothing yet?
Yeah, no, the position has been posted.
It has been posted, okay. And what's
Yeah.
required, correct?
Yeah, I mean, it's public. It's out of our hands. The city is handling everything. They're collecting the resumes. They're doing the outreach. This is being done by the professionals at the city through adhering to all the legal requirements.
Okay. Okay, thank you for the update.
And just to follow up, because I have been checking, the position is not up on the website yet, but it might be next week.
Next week,
Um,
okay.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, is there any follow-up from the previous meeting? Or discussion on what you would like to have on the agenda for next month's meeting?
At some
Anybody?
point, yeah, I was trying to unmute myself. I guess we should have some follow-up with, on the budget, on our requests, the same thing I'm doing with my committee, just overall, just some idea. We spend so much time getting that budget out, maybe, for.
Okay, now you're talking about capital outlay and expense budget, not
Correct.
the internal budget, okay?
Correct, yeah, that we have, just each committee look at what they have and maybe at a future meeting, bring up one item or something for follow-up. I don't know, I'm just throwing that out.
Usually early in the new year, we get something back from the budget office with
Okay.
comments about the things that we have requested. So that should be coming out soon, Carla. So when it comes out, could you be sure that all the committees get a copy?
Yes, absolutely. And I believe they will be accepting comments for a few days. I believe it's 90 days. So there will be a new agenda item in all committees for the month of February.
Okay, once we get their answers from
Yes.
the original submission. Okay,
So we
good.
should, having those discussions with our, elected officials, if there's any issues. I'm just concerned now with that the mayor has put out a budget that's very, very bleak, cuts all over the place. And so I just want to make sure that we, we can protect some of the items that we have on our agenda, and hope we have our elected officials backing on that.
Okay, good point. Any other items that anybody would like to bring up before we close? All right, our next meeting is scheduled for February 16th. We'll see everybody next Tuesday at our monthly meeting. All right, do we have a motion to close the meeting?
I move to adjourn the meeting.
All right, Chad, seconded by anybody?
Second, Betty.
Thank you, Betty. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Carla, you'll send me the recording since I really didn't take notes.
And thank you